Welcome, this is Dr. Ravindranath, and today we are going to learn regarding the business strategy. The topic is SWOT analysis, role of SWOT analysis in strategic decision making. The success of any organization or an individual or an institution depends on the right decision taken at the right time. The result of the decision taken today will be known later. Small mistakes will cost everything. Many times decisions taken are irreversible. SWOT analysis is one of the important decision making devices or techniques for a flawless decision making, a deciding factor to win or lose. It is a situational assessment or situational analysis for the present, but not for the past or future. SWOT analysis was invented in the year 1960 by a management consultant named Albert Humphrey at the Stanford Research Institute. Normally, businesses will be taking decisions through in their decisions a proper planning for their future success to reach the goals. SWOT analysis will be immensely helpful to avoid any mistakes and the consequences in a competitive world. Perfect decisions have to be taken. For this, SWOT analysis is a wonderful tool which helps all the businesses and the institutions as well as individuals to take the right decisions. SWOT analysis is a high-level strategic planning model that helps organizations identify where they are doing well and where they can improve, both from an internal and an external perspective, by identifying strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats related to competition or planning in a critical decision making process in a given situation. In the SWOT analysis, we will be having 4 quadrants, and in that quadrants the S is for strengths, W is for weakness, O is for opportunities and T is for threats. Strengths and weaknesses are internal factors, opportunities and threats are external factors. Firms greatly depend on their strengths in a cutthroat competitive market. Strengths are directly proportionate to opportunities. More the strengths, more the opportunities, and more the weaknesses, more the threats. From these equations, organizations cautiously and carefully assess their own as well as the competitors' SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis helps the organizations to estimate their own strengths and also the competitors' strengths in order to compete. At the same time, they have to identify their weaknesses and opponents' weaknesses also to have a perfect strategy to win the situation. Here is the matrix and the diagram of the SWOT analysis. So, the 4 quadrants are there: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. In both the strengths and opportunities are the positive or favorable things, and weaknesses and threats are the negative aspects of an organization. Strengths and weaknesses are internal factors of an organization. Opportunities and threats are external. Here, for any business organization, internal factors are controllable, whereas external factors are non-controllable. In order to control the uncontrollable factors, these internal factors you have to control and improve them. In this, the strengths and weaknesses. Strengths of an organization, it gives you are the beneficial aspects and capabilities of an organization that enable to accomplish the organization's mission. Strengths include resources, core competencies, locational advantages, suitable markets, favorable conditions, etc. And opposite or the weakness of a firm. Examples for strengths of an organization while making the SWOT analysis. Examples are human competencies, process capabilities, financial resources, products and services, consumer goodwill and brand loyalty, etc. All of them are the strengths of an organization. Latest technology, highly skilled manpower, abundant financial resources, very expanded markets, India and abroad. All these things also gives immense potential for the strengths, which helps to have an edge over the competitors. And the production process with the latest technology, cost cutting techniques and highly efficient marketing services supported with efficient logistics, all these things will put the firm of its products and services to the customers, then very effectively and cheaply, that is the cost wise, will be able to serve to the customers when compared to the competitors. Weaknesses prevent us from accomplishing our mission and achieving our full potential. Weaknesses hinders the organizational success and growth. Weaknesses are controllable. They must be minimized and, if possible, eliminated. Example, insufficient funds, high employee turnover, delayed and complex decision making process, narrow product range, obsolete technology, poor and inefficient production and marketing practices, etc. are the few examples of weaknesses of a firm. Unless the firm overcome these weaknesses or minimize these weaknesses, they can't compete in the market. They will be backlogging with their old and obsolete technology. The product's quality when compared to the competitors' products will be outdated, and customers will be looking for their best value for their money and efficiency of services. All these things, wherever the weaknesses are there, it is the prime responsibility of the firm to locate these weaknesses and minimize or totally eliminate them. Unless we eliminate these weaknesses, firm cannot achieve the strengths. More the strengths, lesser the weaknesses. If weaknesses are reduced, automatically threats will be reduced. If the more strengths the firm gains, more opportunities will be arising to the firm. So, the firm will be operating looking at its own strengths and the weaknesses and opportunities and threats. So, in order to avail or grab the opportunities, one must improve their strengths and reduce the weaknesses. So, by reducing the weaknesses, threats also will be automatically reduced. If threats are reduced, more opportunities will be available. So, strengths are directly proportionate to the opportunities available and weaknesses are to the threats. More the strengths, more the opportunities, more the weaknesses, more the threats. Opportunities are presented by the environment within which the organization operates. These arise when an organization can take benefit of conditions in its environment to plan and execute strategies that enable it to become more profitable. Organizations can gain competitive advantage by making use of opportunities available. Example, increasing demand for telecommunications accompanied by deregulation is a great opportunity for new firms to enter telecom sector and compete with existing firms for revenue. Any sector taken, here the opportunities what the deregulations or delicensing or easy permits those things plus that increasing demand. Even for the airline sector, the example can be aptly used. Threats. Threats arise when conditions in external environment jeopardize the reliability and profitability of the organization's business. They compound the vulnerability when they relate to the weaknesses. Threats are uncontrollable. When a threat comes, the stability and survival can be at stake. Example, unrest among employees, ever-changing technology, increasing competition leading to excess capacity, price wars and reducing industry profits, etc. are the threats. In the global economy and the competition, nobody can expect the coming of threat in which form and when it will come. Companies should be able to have a powerful information sources to act well in advance. Now, the second version of the SWOT analysis is the TOWS matrix. TOWS matrix is reversal form of SWOT. Threats, opportunities, weaknesses and strengths is a modified version of SWOT analysis invented by an American business professor Heinz Weyrich in 1982. Here is the TOWS matrix. We can see on the top from left to right weaknesses and strengths, which are the internal factors of an organization, and threats and opportunities to the left are the external factors. Now, the matrix works in this way. So, threats and weaknesses, that is, both these things are the negatives. So, it has been known as mini, two minis, threats and weaknesses, and the next one is threats and strengths. So, strength is maxi and the threats is mini, and coming to the bottom, opportunities and weaknesses. So, opportunities is maxi and weakness is mini, and the last one is strengths and opportunities. Both strength and opportunities are maxi. Now, out of this grid, when it is to choose which decision to take or what are the options, here the preference goes for maxi, that is this combination of strengths and opportunities. Then totally eliminating point is the weakness and threats. There are weaknesses as well as threats. So, outrightly to eliminate the option, and the remaining one, strengths versus strengths and threats, one is maxi, one is mini. If your strengths are larger than the threats, you can overcome the threats and you can opt for this option, or if your weakness is much stronger than the opportunity available, then you better drop from this option. So, this is the modified version of the SWOT analysis, and it is a framework to assess, create, compare and finally decide upon business strategies. Grow, opportunities versus strengths. Defend, threats versus strengths. Improve, opportunities versus threats, and finally withdraw, threats versus weaknesses. So, it is better to withdraw and rather than to trying where the both threats and weaknesses are in the same grid. Major benefits of a SWOT analysis: understanding your competitive advantages and disadvantages, finding things to improve about your organization, understanding why some aspects of your organization are struggling, and now it gives the where the SWOT analysis can be applied. Application of SWOT. SWOT analysis is widely used in wars, sports and in negotiations, mergers, acquisitions and marketing, etc. In every field, the SWOT application is immensely used and it's much beneficial. Limitations of the SWOT analysis: apart from the benefits, there are a few limitations. One of them is the lack of prioritization. In this, SWOT analysis can be overwhelming if managers or leaders are not clear on what they are going to prioritize. Every organization have to list out what are the top priorities they are going to work for that, and basically on those priorities resources allocation will be given. SWOT analysis will not give any clear idea which priorities to be taken, that decision to be taken by the managers. The tool itself does not do this automatically, so it can be difficult to decide what to address first. SWOT is designed to address pertinent issues, so leaders or managers may feel pressure and stress to handle everything at once. Lack of clarity. Managers will be confused when if a factor is in both quadrants, they have to attach their values to the factors and decide the best step for addressing them. So, in contradictory factors, if the same point is there, then it will be a confusing factor for the managers to decide. But when they are giving the priorities, so they have to attach the values, then they can take a decision. The analysis is subjective. A SWOT analysis is only as a functional as the data put into it. It will reflect the biases and experience of the individual creating it. This makes it impossible to receive objective data concerning SWOT analysis. Too many opinions to address. During the SWOT process, it is likely that a leader will involve various managers, department heads, senior executives, and even frontline employees. While all of their opinions may be valid, it is difficult to address all their inputs. Therefore, some opinions will be left out. Every department in a decision taking process, while it is at every level, corporate level, business unit level, and at the functional level, when the decisions are invited, all the concerned managers or the staff will be giving their opinions and priorities, and taking into consideration will be very great difficult, because the staff has given according to their own opinion. So, summarizing all these things, according to the priorities, the manager have to take a decision. Conclusion. SWOT analysis is very simple and easy to understand and apply even by a layman. SWOT analysis helps to identify and grab the opportunities through the strengths, which helps to gain an edge over the competition, helps to identify the possible threats due to the weaknesses. By identifying the opportunities due to the strengths and threats due to the weaknesses, one can plan to improve strengths and minimize and reduce the weaknesses. SWOT analysis is a continuous process and compare with previous results depending upon the requirements and situation. Both SWOT analysis and TOWS matrix helps in formulating strategies. SWOT analysis helps to identify the opportunities based on the strengths. TOWS matrix helps in identifying and improving the required strengths to grab the available opportunities. A SWOT analysis can help to determine the steps that should be taken for short and long term success. Through this class, we learned in the business strategy the process of SWOT analysis. In next class, next session, we will be meeting once again. Thank you.